The crimson sky of Zarian 7 painted everything in shades of blood as Kanat stumbled across the volcanic wasteland, his emergency beacon flickering weakly in his trembling hand. 3 days had passed since the Zephyrian raiders had destroyed his colony ship, leaving him the sole survivor among 200 souls. The acrid smell of sulfur burned his nostrils, but he pressed forward. Mount Paraxis loomed ahead, its peak offering the only hope of establishing a signal strong enough to reach the outer colonies. Behind him, the wreckage of New Haven smoldered in the distance, a testament to humanity's latest failed attempt at expansion beyond Earth's protective embrace. The Zephyrians had come without warning, their sleek vessels cutting through the atmosphere like silver daggers. They'd taken no prisoners, asked no questions, just death and destruction in their wake. Kanat's water reserves had run dry that morning, and his rations wouldn't last another day. The volcano represented salvation or death, but death was certain if he remained in the lowlands. As he began his ascent, the ground beneath his feet grew warmer, and strange geometric patterns became visible in the hardened lava flows, too precise to be natural. The climb consumed hours. His breathing grew labored in the thin atmosphere, and his vision blurred from dehydration. Just when exhaustion threatened to claim him, he spotted something impossible. A metallic surface protruding from the volcanic rock, partially buried by centuries of eruptions. The metal bore no resemblance to human construction. Its surface rippled with iridescent patterns that seemed to shift when observed directly. As Kanat approached, his beacon suddenly erupted with activity, its weak signal amplifying into a powerful transmission. But strangest of all was the sound, a low rhythmic pulse that seemed to emanate from within the buried vessel, calling to something deep in his genetic memory. "Impossible," he whispered, placing his palm against the alien metal. The surface warmed under his touch, and sections of volcanic rock began to crumble away, revealing more of the ship's hull. Ancient symbols carved into the metal began to glow with soft blue light, and suddenly a voice filled his mind. "Kanat." The voice was feminine, speaking in perfect English despite its clearly non-human origin. "I have been waiting." "Who are you?" He spoke aloud, feeling foolish but desperate for answers. "I am Malice, last guardian of the Prometheus Protocol. Your species calls this vessel a gift from the gods, but you are mistaken. It is a gift from yourselves." The ground trembled and more rock fell away. Kanat stumbled backward as an entrance materialized in the ship's hull, bathed in ethereal light. Against every instinct screaming danger, he stepped inside. The interior defied physics. Vast corridors stretched impossibly far within what should have been a small craft. Walls pulsed with bioluminescent displays showing star charts, genetic sequences, and what appeared to be historical records. But these weren't alien histories, they were human, stretching back millions of years further than any archaeologist had ever theorized. "This can't be real," Kanat muttered, but Malice's presence filled the space around him. "Your species has walked this path before," she explained, her voice echoing from everywhere and nowhere. "Humanity reached the stars long ago, seeded countless worlds, built an empire that spanned galaxies. But with great power came great enemies. The Zephyrians you know today are descendants of those who drove your ancestors back to a single world, Earth, and wiped your memories clean." Holographic displays materialized, showing massive human fleets engaging in cosmic warfare against familiar silver vessels. The battles raged across star systems. But slowly, inexorably, humanity was pushed back until only Earth remained, its people reduced to primitive tribalism, their technological achievements forgotten. "I was created by your ancestors to preserve the truth and wait for humanity's return to the stars. When the time was right, I would awaken your dormant potential." "Why me?" Kanat asked, his voice breaking. "I'm nobody special. Just a colonist who got lucky when everyone else died." "There is no luck in survival, Kanat. You carry the navigator gene, a genetic marker present in less than 1% of modern humans. Your ancestors were star captains, voidwalkers who could interface directly with ships like me. That is why the beacon called to you, why you heard my voice across the vacuum." As she spoke, Kanat felt something awakening within him. His awareness expanded beyond the confines of his human senses. He could feel the ship's systems, its weapons, its faster-than-light capabilities. More than that, he could sense other vessels like Malice scattered across the galaxy, waiting for humans with the navigator gene to awaken them. "The Zephyrians will come for me," he said, understanding flooding through him. They must know what this ship represents. Let them come, Malice replied, and her voice carried the weight of ancient authority. They remember what humanity was capable of, even if you have forgotten. That is why they struck your colony so quickly. They sensed the awakening. The ship shuddered as it began to break free from its volcanic prison. External displays showed Zephyrian vessels approaching through Xerion 7's atmosphere, their weapons charging for another massacre. But Kanat felt no fear. The navigator gene sang in his blood, connecting him to systems beyond human understanding. "Show me," he whispered, and Malice responded. Knowledge flooded his mind. Tactical algorithms developed over millennia of warfare, engine specifications that bent space-time itself, weapons that could crack planets. But more than technology, he inherited purpose. Humanity's exile was ending. The ship burst free from Mount Paraxis in a blaze of blue fire, its weapon systems already targeting the approaching Zephyrian fleet. As the first enemy vessel exploded in brilliant flame, Kanat smiled grimly. "Welcome home, Navigator," Malice said softly. "Now let us remind the galaxy why they feared us. The war for humanity's birthright was about to begin, and this time they would not be caught unprepared. The volcano had called to him not for survival but for resurrection, the resurrection of humanity's true destiny among the stars." In the depths of space, other buried ships began to stir, sensing their awakening sister. The Prometheus protocol was finally active, and the galaxy would tremble once more at the sound of human footsteps among the stars.